Hi everyone, and welcome to this second video tutorial for the XF-11. In this video we will cover the engine failures. As I will be flying at 20,000 feet, I will manually cause a failure for these right propellers. From there I will have to feather the props and continue my route to my destination, where hopefully I will be able to land safely. So now let me just start my plane, take off, and I will meet you in the sky at 20,000 feet for the beginning of the adventure. In a future video we will also talk about high altitudes, how to climb to these 20,000 feet and even 44,000 feet, and how to operate the pressurization system. But that's for another day. Today let's focus on our failures. I am on autopilot, with the altitude hold selected, heading hold selected. I'm flying at 20,000 feet. And now let's try to see if we can kill this right engine by causing a failure of the right propellers. And here we are, ignition defective. My right propeller is no longer working, so now I have to be a little bit fast. I could use this propeller pitch, or maybe just the right side to feather the right prop, but since I have only one propeller axis, I will use the force feathering switch, which is right here. We'll see the right propeller being feathered. The RPM, you can hear them. It's getting slower. Okay, the left propeller, left engine is still working. Let's focus on the speed, on the altitude. We are still good, we are still flying in autopilot. From now we will keep monitoring the speed and this altitude and this vertical speed, because it's critical. We don't want to fall, we don't want any issue. We can also see that this warning light has turned red. That's to tell me that my right engine is dead. We can also see on the needles the fuel flow for the left engine is way up. The fuel flow for the right engine is completely flat. It's no longer working. The rotation of the propellers is only due to the wind, even if it's feathered, that's going through. There is no brake for the propellers, so it's turning freely. But at least it's not causing any drag. You can notice too that if I want I can fix the plane right now, but that's not realistic. That's why by default there is this option which is activated, which forces you to get on the ground with the parking brake set and your engines off before you can fix anything. So right now with this option activated, I can no longer fix the plane. Okay, so right now what is going to happen? I will keep monitoring my instruments right there, and also my flight plan. I could land right here at U96, but I'm pretty sure I can continue my route down to UT25 and try to land over here. I can see that I'm starting to have some roll, so let's help it just a little bit, help the autopilot by adjusting the aileron trim to keep flying flat. We can hear the sound that this is not what's supposed to be happening, right? This is not flying exactly as it should. It's not really level either, but it's okay. Now I would just like you to take a look at the fuel gauge. Since we are no longer taking fuel from the right side because the right engine is dead, we are only taking fuel from the left side, so we are starting to be unbalanced. That's not something we want. So what I will do, I will tell my left engine to start to take fuel from the right side. So I can cut also my left fuel pumps because I no longer need them, and I will try to balance this way by only using the right side. And as soon as both needles are together, I can start using the central fuel tank for the left engine instead. So I keep my plane balanced. And maybe now it's time to start with descent, because we're not really far from the airport, so let's change the autopilot for pitch hold instead of altitude hold. And let's use this little thing down there to point the nose down. I can see that it affects my vertical speed, of course, quite a lot. I will make a shortcut in the video and I will meet you when we are just next to the runway before we turn off the autopilot. Alright, I can see the runway already. It's right here, this little strip just before the cliff. That's the brightest ID. If you have any failure, go for one way where you can't do any go around. That's smart. Good thinking. The autopilot is still activated. Currently I'm on alt hold. Maybe I will go back to pitch hold and just go a little lower because I'm still flying too high. And I will very soon disable the autopilot. You know what? Let's cut the autopilot right now. I don't need it. Okay, you're gone. Now I'm in control of the aircraft. I can see the runway. Let's start my landing procedure. Landing light is already on. I will manage my speed. Going a little less throttle. As soon as I hit 200 knots, I will set one notch of flaps and gears down. That's it, 200 knots. Let's go for one notch of flaps, gears down. Still flying super fast because I'm descending super fast. It will be a fast landing, I suppose. Second notch of flaps. Watch speed. Don't want to go below 120 knots. Third notch of flaps. And here we are. A little bit on the side of the runway, but we are done. Now that the plane is getting slower, the right propeller is finally stopping. But I can drive this machine right to the parking area. So right propeller is stopped, left is still working, of course. And let's just park here. As you can see, the prop is feathered, even if the prop pitch is on full fine, because it has no longer effect if you force feather the prop. That's the important thing to understand. So if I want to unfeather it, I press this one, and we can see that the props blades are going back at the correct angle. So they're no longer feathered, but, and we can see, we cannot really see it next to the sun. Let's change that. We can see that the engine is still dead. So now I need to fix it. And I can't fix it because I choose to force myself to cut my engines. They're off. So both my engines are off. Parking brake is set. I should now be able to fix my plane. Plane is fixed. Right engine can start again. Of course, both lights are red because both engines are shut down. But if I start them again, I will probably need to prime the right engine. Now they both start. And that's it for this tutorial about surviving an engine failure with the XF-11 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you for your time. See you soon in another tutorial.